All right, welcome to the lab time for today. Usually it'll just be a new assignment that I release, and I'll do that in a separate place on Canvas. But just for today, I want to get us on the class server and comfortable there. You'll probably want to go back to all my slides from today, and like especially this one that's going to show you how to move around on the terminal. But without any further ado, let's get on the class server. So the address of the class server is server.lawtonsclass.com. Hopefully you've already tried this, but if you're having trouble, I will walk through it right now. All right. So if you're on Windows, you can use either PuTTY or PowerShell, actually. If you're on a Mac, you will open up the terminal. All right, so figure out how to find those places. Come to office hours if you need help. But if you're doing it in PuTTY, for example, let me open up that. You will set the host to the computer you're trying to connect to. So that's server.lawtonsclass.com. Let me zoom in. So the host name is server.lawtonsclass.com. Why is that disgusting? Here, let me fix the way this zooms for a second. How does it not? Never mind, it can't be pixelated anymore. That's weird. Or can I do this? Aha. Zoom style. All right, it's not worth it. Never mind. But it's server.lawtonsclass.com. You keep the port 22. It should already be defaulted to SSH. You click open. And then, so like get ready for that. Let me just go through that first. If you're on Windows, then I'll show you how you would do it on Mac or on PowerShell. So, okay, so there's that. You'll hit open, and what it'll do is it'll ask you, do you trust this computer you're trying to connect to? If you haven't tried this before, you'll hit accept. But otherwise, it'll take you straight here to log in as. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Change settings. Appearance. I will find it, I promise. Window? There it is. All right, 10 point become 18 point. Apply. Beautiful. So it's login as, and this is your class server username. So just like for the class website, your username is lastname_student90, and that's also your default password. They're two separate accounts, but by default, they have the same original username and password. So it's your lastname_student90 for both of them. And when you hit enter, it's going to ask you for your password. And once you type your password, by default, it's your same username, so you're going to type it again. When you type, you will not see any stars or anything. It's extra secure that way. When you type, it's still getting your stuff, but you won't be able to see that. All right, so I'm going to type the password. What is the password for this one? And then you hit enter. And the first time you log in, it's going to force you to change your password, and then it'll log you right back out. But you'll come back, do it all over again with a new password, and then you will eventually get to the terminal. This is the cow, all right? So once you see the cow, you're there, all right? So that is what I wanted to show you there. To log out of the class server, you can either say the exit command, just run the exit command, or Control D, okay? So I'll say exit, and it will log me out. And then let me show you what you do if you're on a Mac or PowerShell. So you'd run the SSH command, and it kind of looks like an email that you're connecting to. So if you're on PowerShell, or if you were on a Mac, you'd open up the terminal, and both of those places have the SSH command. So you'd say SSH, your username, which is your lastname_student90, at, and then there's an at sign like an email, server, which computer you want to connect to, server.lawtonsclass.com. Hit enter. And again, it'll ask you for the password. By default, it's the same as your username right now. And it'll force you to change it, and it'll log you out, and you'll do it all over again with the new one. But eventually, right, the second time, once you've changed it, you'll log in with a new password, same username, of course, and then you're at the cow, and then you've made it, all right? So that's how you log in. Remember that you won't see stars as you're typing your password. That trips up a lot of people, but that's just extra secure. It's still working. It's still getting your stuff. Yeah. This is a computer. We're connecting to a computer in Germany right now. That's the cheapest one I could find. So that's why there's a little bit of delay. Like your keystrokes are crossing the Atlantic right now, which is kind of cool to think about. But you're connecting to a computer and you're interacting with a computer not anywhere near you. Right? So just make sure, just in case the data center's power goes out or something, like save your work often. Don't just like keep something open for an hour. Keep on saving it and coming back. But yeah, that's how you get on. If you did not want to work on the class server, you can get your files on and off of it with some other program. You just need to be able to turn in stuff on the class server. That's where the final versions of your work needs to go eventually. But you could be using a graphical program, like I can help you get those working. But please, if you've programmed before and you've heard of Visual Studio Code, please do not try to connect to the class server using Visual Studio Code. It will lock you out of your account. All right, I'm warning you right now. Talk to me first. If you want just a program to copy files back and forth, there's a cute little program called CyberDuck. Here's its icon. It's so fancy. I can teach you how to use that to copy files back and forth between your own computer and the class server. I can also help you get Linux just installed in general. This is a Linux computer we're connecting to. I can have you get that on your own computer, so you have your own Linux terminal on your own machine. That's kind of how I do my lectures, actually. So yeah, if you like any of that, talk to me. But you might as well just, for now, work entirely on the class server. All right, so let's get you comfortable. By the way, instead of CyberDuck, there's one on Windows. It's called WinSCP. That's also good. That will help you transfer your files. But yeah, let's go and review the terminal, or the shell is another name for that. So there's some reading on our canvas that hopefully you've found and tried to read a little bit. That will teach you more of this. But like, this is the kind of stuff, right? This is terminal commands that you need to know. All right, so let's go through a few of these. So yeah, just remember how to move around. That's CD and all that fun stuff. So you're plopped into your home folder. I did not lie. You say pwd to show where you are. This is its name, /home/your username. That is your home folder. You can always get there by saying cd tilde no matter where you are. But if you want to go move around, you can say cd whatever folder you want to go to. So like, here's the root directory of the file system. So cd/, you've got all this random stuff. All right, this is the root directory of the file system, and you came from home test, like your username. So there's a folder called home within there. You can go cd home ls. This is all the people on the class server right now. I still need to give you all your accounts. And then here's your home folder. Bam. If you hit ls, by default, there's nothing there. ls, nothing there at all. So it just types nothing out to you. So there's nothing in your home folder right now until you make something. All right. So yeah, remember how to move around with cd. And once you're in a place where you want to be, let me show you how to make like a file. All right. So if you're ever getting lost though, like if you're in the root directory, like bam, you say cd tilde, that gets you to your home folder. You're there now. All right. pwd gets you there always. All right. It's always shorthand for your home folder. Let me show you how to make like a Hello World program in Nano. And we hate Nano, so try to learn Vim eventually. I'll tell you how to on the next slide, but don't try to open Vim until you've done the tutorial first. Right? But let me get you settled with Nano first. So let's make a Hello World program together. So I'll say nano space the name of the program I would like to edit. So like, give a file name here. So I'll call it hello.cpp. Hit enter, and even if the file hasn't existed, it's going to give me a blank slate, and I'm ready to start typing. So I'm going to type my program. Where do I want to be? Let's do it. I don't know. Let me just do it. So include IOStream using namespace standard int main, and then you kind of have to tab over yourself. Cout hello world, and I'm already within quotes. It's faster for me to do \n for a new line, and then return 0. All right, so that's my program. If I want to save and quit, I do Control-X. Even if you're on a Mac, it's Control, not Command. Control-X. Y for yes, I want to save it. And I've already said which file name I want this to be, so I just wanted to keep being that name, so hit enter. It's already filled out for me, hello.cpp is the name of the file I would like to edit. And now, remember that there was nothing. Now there is something. So there it is. I can get back to it with Nano again. I can re-edit it, use the arrow keys to get to where I want to be, add new lines and stuff. Control-X to save and quit. But once you're ready to compile and run, you do it. You do it with a G++, right? So it's G++, name of the program, and if you hit enter right now, it will compile it into a.out. If you want to give it something else, like call it hello or something, you say -o and what you want it to be called instead of a.out. All right? So there it is, and it's green because it's runnable. So /hello. Bam, prints hello world to the screen. Isn't that beautiful? So that's what I want you to do. All right, so follow along, rewind if you need to, but get that working, please. Get a Hello World program running in your account on the class server, and that is your main task for the day. Once you're finished with that, in as much time as you have, I would like you to learn the Vim editor. That's so much better if nothing else, oops, it lets you use the mouse. So that's already a quality of life improvement. So it's worth learning Vim, I promise. It's also prettier, and it will indent for you. It's just better. So please do the Vim tutorial. It's a command called Vim tutor. This lets you learn Vim because you're not ready to use Vim until you know how to exit Vim. That's like the meme is nobody knows how to exit Vim. It's Control Q in normal, or sorry, not Control Q. It's :Q in normal mode. So you need to learn what all those words mean. So you're going to run Vim tutor first before you try Vim. It's going to plop you into a Vim tutorial. My window's too big, but here. You just start using the arrow keys to move down and read this file. All right? Go through all the lessons. It will eventually teach you the Vim way to move around and do things. And then the first thing it teaches you is how to quit out of Vim. So to quit without saving, it's it's :Q exclamation point. If you haven't changed anything, it's just :Q. So do the Vim tutorial, because then you can use Vim instead of nano, and it works just the same. Just say Vim, name of the file. All right? So highly encourage you to go through the Vim tutorial as your last task for the day. All right? So that's all that I want to do for today's lab time. In future lab days, I guess, it's just going to be a different place on Canvas where I'm going to like give a write-up for the assignment that you're actually going to complete on the class server, and I'll put the video there too. All right? So it's normally not going to be part of the lecture, but today is special because it's the first day. So yeah, thank you for getting through all that. You made it. Please try out all these things. Look for all of my code and slides on Canvas and practice. And that's gonna get you to where you need to go. So yeah, I will see you all in the next lecture.